Today I'm going to be roasting some beans called Mexican Oaxaca Esmeralda. And here's the green beans. And I got it from the Lost Dutchman Coffee Company out of the Phoenix area. And I'm going to be roasting them in my Jean Cafe coffee roaster. And this is what it looks like. And I've got my green beans in here. And I probably got about too much. Supposed to fill it to that line, but I overdid it. Like they say on the Mythbusters TV show, anything worth doing is worth overdoing, so that's me. So let me put this back in here. And so today we're going to do a medium roast, and I've got it set for about 450 degrees, and let's do it for about 15 minutes, and I'll come back in 10 minutes to see how it's doing. I don't want to over roast it because then I'll turn it into espresso. So it says this one, medium roast is fine, can hold up to a dark roast, but the distinguishing floral notes turn quickly to malt and become woody if taken too far into the second crack. So here's my notes. I want the bean temperature at the end to be about 400 to 415 degrees, and I'm going to stop at the second crack. What is the second crack? Well, when coffee beans start roasting, there's what they call the first crack, and when they start expanding, they will pop like popcorn. It's very muffled, you can barely hear it. And then further into it, as they get a lot hotter, they do what's called a second crack. And that's when I want to start taking them out, or turn it off and let it cool down. Any further than that, you're going to have French, espresso, or Turkish, and then it'll really start smoking, and that's not what these beans call for. So when we're all done, let me pull this out again. Beans do expand, so these beans will probably expand to somewhere, I don't know, in the middle of the word beans up there. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to press start. And there we go. And I better press my little thingy here. And I'll come back in about 10 minutes to see how it's doing. So the heater's here, and it blows through this glass canister, and then the exhaust comes out right there. So right now it says, I've got it set at 449 degrees, and the exhaust is 179, and heating up, 181, 186, 188. So that's what's called the bean temperature. So we'll come out in 10 minutes to see how this is doing. See you later. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. And this is still cranking out, and as you can see, the beans have gotten darker. And we're getting some chaff, C-H-A-F, maybe F-F, coming out here. And the temperature is 442 coming in, and the beans are 438. So that's way too hot. So I'm going to lower the temperature down to about 440. Let's see, about 4:15. Okay, that came right down. And we'll come back in a little bit. I wasn't here for the first crack, but I think I'll stick around and listen for the second crack. And looks like there's a lot more chaff to come out. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, it's just a few minutes later, or a minute or two later. The beans are browning up, and the temperature's good. And there's still a lot of chaff coming out. So we want to wait till that's done. Wait. Okay, the beans are all done roasting, and time to yank them out of here. And I said it would probably be somewhere in the beans word that expanded from down by dry. So they've gone up about 100%. So they're a teeny bit darker, and let's go into the sun. Whoa, pretty bright. They're darker than I wanted, but I think they're going to be really good. So let's pour them into this bowl. Shakety shake. Put that back in there. Close the scatter shield lid. And boy, do those look good. Let's go into the sun. I can smell them too. They smell really good. So these are ready to be roasted. Okay, that is the end. Might as well show you the grinding of the beans since I showed you the roasting. So take a little bit of beans here and grind them in my Gaggia coffee bean grinder. I got this little baby at the Hanapepe Kauai thrift store for $2. They sell new for $150, so was that a smoking deal or what? So let me take the lid off here and grab the beans and pour them in. Now put the lid back on and turn it on. I got it set for a 6 grind out of about 18, which is extremely fine. I like it pretty fine. So put it right here. Okay, all done being ground. Turn the machine off. And it all came out here. So oh man, does that smell good. Okay, all done with the roasting and the grinding. Time to make some coffee. Be right back.